folks, I'm coming to you from Latchkey. This is my partner's record store in Philadelphia, and today's song recommendation is by The Germs. This LP is pretty rare, so you can kind of see it's a little expensive, but there's a reason people really want this record, which is The Germs are kind of an iconic early 80s hardcore band from Los Angeles. They were of the scene that really kind of made punk a thing on the West Coast. Other bands like X, the Circle Jerks, Black Flag, those are all kind of the bands of that era in that region. And The Germs might be one of the loudest, noisiest, strangest hardcore bands of the era. They didn't last long. Their lead singer, Darby, died in 1980. He was only 20 years old. Unfortunately, this happened a lot in punk rock in the era. Lexicon Devil is probably their most famous song. It is still very raw, very real. That kind of thing is what I like. I know it's not for everybody, but what's interesting about The Germs is that two of their members went on to be members of way more famous bands that tend to have a lot more mainstream success. Their original drummer, her name was Dottie Danger, but you probably know her as Belinda Carlisle, the lead singer of the Go-Go's. And Pat Smear, who was one of the founders of the band, went on to be a rhythm guitarist for Nirvana for a short period before Kurt Cobain also unfortunately died at a young age. I think it's a really good indicator that, like, just because a lot of these old punk bands were rough around the edges, I think it was a lot of the time because they really believed in the DIY aesthetic. They really believed in getting out there, recording music, performing live before they had, like, learning as they go, basically. And as they got older and as they practiced their craft more, they got a little bit smoother, a little bit more professional. But there's still so much charm and so much delight in these old, really rough around the edges albums. And I just can't recommend listening to the old Germs enough.